Victoria Hayes was known across America as one of the self-made billionaires in the technology industry. Her companies employed thousands of people, and magazines regularly featured among the nation's most influential business leaders. Yet despite her success, there was one challenge money could never solve: her daughter Lily's condition. 8-year-old Lily had spent years struggling with severe mobility limitations after a traumatic spinal injury when she was very young. She attended physical therapy, worked with specialists, and used assistive devices to help her move. Although doctors never completely gave up hope, they warned Victoria that significant improvement might be unlikely. Still, Victoria refused to stop searching for anything that could help her daughter regain confidence and independence. On a warm Saturday afternoon in San Diego, Victoria attended a charity event supporting families of military and children with disabilities. She was one of the event's largest donors, but she came mainly because Lily enjoyed meeting other children and participating in community activities. Lily sat quietly in her adaptive chair while Victoria spoke with organizers and guests. Although Lily was kind and intelligent, she often avoided interacting with strangers. Years of medical treatment and public attention had made her shy and withdrawn. Across the event grounds, a man in a simple gray shirt was helping volunteers arrange carry equipment and direct families toward activity stations. His name was Ethan Brooks. Ethan was a widowed single father raising his 7-year-old son, Noah. He volunteered regularly at veteran support programs and rarely talked about his own past. To most people, he looked like an ordinary man living an ordinary life. While Victoria was speaking with a sponsor, Lily suddenly looked across the crowd. Her attention was fixed on Ethan. For reasons she couldn't explain, Lily smiled. Ethan noticed her watching and smiled back warmly. There was no pity in his expression, no sadness, and no uncomfortable sympathy, only kindness and encouragement. He walked over slowly, careful not to make Lily feel pressured. "Hi," he said gently. "I'm Ethan. That's my son, Noah, over there. He told me you're the best artist at the event." Lily giggled softly. Victoria immediately turned, surprised to hear her daughter laughing so freely with someone she had never met. Ethan knelt beside Lily so they could speak at eye level. "You know," he said calmly, "sometimes we're stronger than we think." There was something about his voice, steady, patient, and reassuring, that made Lily feel completely safe without anyone asking her to. Lily placed her hands on the sides of her chair and slowly pushed herself upward. Victoria Fro's therapists had spent years encouraging Lily through difficult exercises, yet now she was standing on her own. Lily took one careful step, then another. Tears filled Victoria's eyes as the crowd around them became completely silent. Finally, Lily moved forward and wrapped her arms around Ethan in a tight hug. Ethan gently held her shoulders to support her balance, but he looked no less shocked than everyone else. Victoria couldn't speak for a brief moment. The billionaire business leader, who always had answers, stood completely speechless. She wasn't looking at a miracle. She was witnessing something equally powerful: the impact of trust, kindness, and the belief that someone could do more than they ever imagined. And she had no idea that the humble, single father standing before her carried a hidden past that would soon change all of their lives forever. The emotional moment at the charity event stayed with Victoria long after the applause faded. As guests continued talking about what they had witnessed, she approached Ethan Brooks with tears still in her eyes. She thanked him sincerely for the kindness he had shown Lily. Ethan smiled modestly and insisted he had done nothing extraordinary. "I'm not a doctor or a therapist," he said. "I simply treated her like a confident little girl instead of focusing on what she couldn't do." Victoria appreciated his honesty and invited Ethan and Noah to join them for lunch after the event. During their conversation, she learned that Ethan was a widow, single father who worked as a construction safety consultant while raising his son alone. His quiet confidence and humble attitude impressed her far more than his simple lifestyle. As they talked, Noah accidentally opened his father's old backpack while searching for a water bottle. Several military medals, a folded American flag, and an old photograph slipped onto the table. Victoria looked at the items with surprise. "You served in the military?" she asked gently. Ethan hesitated for a moment before nodding. "I did," he replied. "That chapter of my life ended years ago." Before he could change the subject, one of the charity organizers walked over. The moment he recognized the medals, his expression changed completely. "I can't believe it," he said. "You're Ethan Brooks." Ethan smiled awkwardly. "It's been a long time." The organizer explained that Ethan had once served in an elite U.S. Navy Special Operations Unit. During multiple overseas missions, he had LED rescue operations that saved both fellow service members and civilians under extremely dangerous conditions. Despite receiving several military decorations, Ethan had never spoken publicly about his service because he believed the real heroes were those who never returned home. Victoria listened in silence, realizing the humble volunteer she had met that morning had spent years risking his life for others. Before quietly returning to civilian life, she understood that the confidence Lily had responded to wasn't magic. It was the result of years of discipline, patience, compassion, and leadership developed through extraordinary experiences. Inspired by Ethan's humility, Victoria asked if there was anything she could do to help. Ethan smiled and answered simply, "If you really want to help, support the families of veterans who are struggling after service. They deserve opportunity, not sympathy." Those words stayed with Victoria. Within weeks, she launched a nationwide charitable initiative providing scholarships, career training, and family support for military veterans transitioning to civilian life. Ethan agreed to serve as an advisor, ensuring the program focused on practical help rather than publicity. Their friendship grew from that remarkable day, proving that true heroes rarely seek recognition. Instead, they quietly change lives through courage, compassion, and the strength to lift others when they need it most.